Sometimes you get a piece of fabric and the fur is not going straight down. As you can see, this is what in this place it's going down, but here it's kind of going to the side a little, and that's going to affect how our bear looks later. Now you want to, when you lay out your pattern pieces, they need to be kind of square on the fabric backing. So you don't want to compensate for, say, the lay of the nap, the way the fur's going. If the fur's going this way, you don't want to lay your pattern piece the same way to follow the nap, the length, how the fur is laying, because then you're going to be crooked on the cotton backing and it's going to be too stretchy. So I am going to show you how you can take care of that. The materials you're going to need are, of course, the fabric that you are going to use for your bear, a tub or a pan of hot water, not boiling water, but hot water, because your hands are going to go in that water, an old towel, because you are going to roll the fabric up in the old towel, and you might, some of the dye from the fabric might get on the towel, so that's why you want to use an old towel, a slicker brush, and optional is a hanger and a couple of clothespins. Before we get started, we're going to take another look at what direction the fur is running in. And we're going to mark it on the back, because after we get this fur wet, it's going to be hard to tell which way the fur is wanting to run. So I am taking a look here, and it looks like it mostly wants to go down this way. I see here it's going a little bit that way, which is why we're straightening out the nap of the fabric. But mostly it's going to lay down this way. So I took a magic marker and I put an arrow on the back of the fabric that points the direction that the fur is running. So that's our first step. Next step is we're going to take our fabric and we're going to get it all wet. So go ahead and soak it. Get it in that water. This is why you want it hot to try to, so that you can change the direction of the fur, but you don't want it boiling because your hands are going in it. So keep doing this. We're going to get it so that it's totally saturated. I'm going to flip it over. And now I'm going to wring it out. So I've lifted it up out of the water and I've folded it. And now I'm just going to squeeze the water out. The next step is to get rid of more of the water. I lay it on my old towel. I've dumped the water out. Yeah, let's see here. I'll lay that over it. And then I'm going to roll it up. Squeeze it as I go to get rid of all that excess water. The next step is to find that arrow you drew on the back of the fabric. Here's ours. And I'm going to flip it over so that it's first side up, but so that the arrow is going in a down position like that. And now we're just going to brush the fur in that direction. Now the last step is to just let the fur dry. I do not recommend putting it in a clothes dryer because that will mess up the direction of the fur again. It will get all out of whack. It will also shrink the backing and shrink your piece of fur. So you can either lay it flat somewhere, if you've got some place to lay it flat, or you could hang it. I like to use a wire hanger with a couple of clothespins. And I just have it gripping at the very tip of the fabric because it is going to mash the fur down a little bit where you have the clothespins on the fabric. And then I just hang this somewhere to dry. Now this technique will only work with natural fibers like mohair or alpaca. It will not work with the synthetic fabrics. And if your fabric has a special finish to it, that will be removed from your piece of fur. So I typically use this on my straight fabrics, the ones with a straight fur.